Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be modifying the headlights on my FX QX70 just to make it look a little bit better by blacking out the housing. And we're also going to be adding these hex halos on the car as well. Now, I'm kind of debating whether I want to go ahead and add two on each side. So far from what I've seen, a lot of people that have been adding just regular like circular halos to their FX are adding two of them, and I think I'm gonna have to do both of them because it looks pretty sick with both. I do have two sets already for both of the headlights, and I was actually gonna use one of them on my 370Z, but I think that I'm just gonna go ahead and use it for the FX, and I'll do the 370Z another time. But I guess in this one we'll just focus on the FX. We're gonna go ahead and remove the bumper to remove the headlights. Honestly, this can be pretty complicated. It can be time consuming, and it's going to take a while to do something like this because you got to open up the headlights. So this may not be something that you want to do if you're not comfortable with doing this. I'm honestly not looking forward to it because I know it's a lot of work, and opening the headlights can be pretty scary because it can possibly crack, but you just got to be careful. I am not going to be using an oven in this video. I am going to be using a heat gun to go ahead and open up the headlights, but we'll talk about that later. Let's go ahead and start removing the bumper. Alright, and in case you guys didn't know, you can remove this plastic thing right here that covers up this whole area, which will give you easier access in order to remove all the connections. This is kind of how it looks, but it has two like clips right here. So there's one right there, there's another one right there. You can just pop it off by using one of these to pull up on it and take it out. But there's one there, one right here, and then I left this one in there because these right here just slip in, slipped out. This one I had to pop it off on the back. The bumper has this right here holding into place, along with these two 10 mils. So two 10 mils, all these plastic clips, and then you gotta take off this right here. And something like this will make it really useful to take out these screws right here. See how easy it makes it. And they got another one right here. Once you take these out, then you can go ahead and pop this out and then get to that 10 mil that's like up here somewhere. And then there's one like right in the front. You can kind of feel for it. There's one right there. Just like that. And there you go. Alright, now we got a 10 mil right here. Once you take off these three right here, I recommend taking off this top one right here as well, because it kind of gets in the way of taking the bumper out. Alright, now with the bumper off, you kind of see what I did. So these clips right here came off, the 10 mil up here that's holding it in, and then these two connections right here to remove the wiring for the fog lights, and then this one right here as well for the fog light. And we got this off right there, and then there was like something holding it in right here, which are these plastic pieces that fell down, these. And for the most part, that's it. The only thing that really concerns me is like breaking these right here. You just want to be careful with them. So there's one like all the way at the bottom, midway, a little bit further up, and then that like white one right there. This one you have to remove it because the bumper's not going to come out with that in the way. But yeah, now to remove the headlight, you got a 10 mil right there, got another one right there, right here, so up there, right there. Then there's this one right there, and I think that should be it. This is like holding it in place right there as well, so you might have to like lift it up a little bit to get it out of that hole. But other than that, I would just disconnect the plugs right here to the wires. There's another one back here as well, and then there's one more right here. But you get the idea. Looks like there's about 3 of them. This one's connected to the headlight. So there was this harness, and the clip that was holding it in, this one right here, and everything came out. Now that we removed the headlights and want to go ahead and begin installing everything, I will highly suggest testing out your lights before you actually start to make sure they work. Now, usually black is ground, so ground, you can attach it like right here, and then our positive, we can attach it on this side. So we can go ahead and connect that right there. And there you go. That is pretty sick. That is gonna look so sick on the headlights. So now that we confirm that they work, now we can just begin opening the headlights and pre-installing these, making sure we know where we want them to go. We're gonna make holes to add fishing line through. I already ordered everything. It's gonna be here tomorrow, but opening the headlights itself is a process. So might as well do that first, and then once we have everything that we need, we can go ahead and begin, you know, actually installing these properly. So we're not going to use just the glue that comes on here. We're actually going to go ahead and add fishing line to reinforce it so it doesn't come off. And the cool thing is that it has these edges, so it won't like slip off. It'll stay tight right in that area. Alright guys, so I got the wiring harness removed. The only one that was kind of like tricky, I guess, to get out was this one. I just had to like squeeze it and then pull out, and I took it out of here. But then you also have this wire that's connected right there and that opening. I just grabbed my flathead, I pried up on this and I pulled on it, and it came out really easily. Other than that, everything else twisted off. I did take out a plastic piece that was held in right here, which is this, was at the bottom like that. Took off those screws and it came out. But now we can go ahead and begin heating everything up. Oh, I forgot to mention this right here. This is connected to this right here. Once you remove the 3 screws, you unplug it, and then you got to remove 1 screw right there, and then it has like this bracket that is held in right here. So you just got to like pull it out and then it'll come off. I tried pulling it up and it wasn't coming off. You just got to push it up, it'll unlatch itself, and then you can take it out. So that's how you remove this. So I'm going to go ahead and now begin heating this up with my heat gun. I'm going to try to separate the outer part or the upper part right here first, because I think that's going to be like the hardest part. So I'm going to go ahead and just go through it with the heat gun all over, and then get these tabs unlocked by pushing up on them. You can try removing as much glue as you can now. It'll make it a little bit easier. So as you heat it up, grab a flathead, go through it, and when you do that, you'll begin lifting up the tabs, and then it'll begin separating. There's a total of 10 screws that you have to remove on the outside before removing the lens. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 of those, and then one of them does not have a sharp tip, which is going to be this one that goes right there, that holds in this bracket. You have to remove this one because it's holding in the lens right there together. So you do got to take this one apart. And then the last 2, which are going to be these smaller ones right here. One is going to go right there, one right there. Alright, right here you can see this edge, and I started removing some of the glue, as you can see right there. So I'm going to go ahead and heat it up, and I'm going to start going through my flathead, take out all that glue right there, which will make it a lot easier to separate this, because if it has glue on there, it's going to be pretty hard to like pull it out. But if there's not that much glue, it'll come out that much easier. So I'm just going to go around this whole edge, same thing over here. Once I can get this off, everything will like literally like pull apart very easily. But you want to warm it up. You don't want to pull anything apart unless it's warm. If it's cold, you'll most likely end up cracking it because it's really dry. So I'm just going to go through it, time lapse, and remove a bunch of this glue. Once you begin to remove a lot of the glue, you will be able to feel that your flathead or whatever you're using can get behind and pull the plastic out. Alright, so right there you can kind of see it's beginning to separate almost completely. Now it's kind of stopping right here. So I'm going to stop as well, and I'm just going to heat this area up because I haven't really heated this up right here. This is really hot, but this is still really cold. You will hear a little bit of like crackling. That's the glue beginning to separate, which is fine. So again, heat it up. You want to avoid touching the inside of this lens, so put it somewhere where it's going to be safe and you're not going to touch it. But you will want to remove all of this glue right here, especially on this over here. You want to go through this with the flathead and use the heat gun to heat it up again so it's easier to take off, and begin removing all of that glue that's in there. Now I'm going to remove all these screws right here holding in this chrome piece in for the lens. And then we're going to start mocking up the lights on where we want them. Once we can do that and we have everything where we want to put it at, then we can go ahead and paint it once we get the paint tomorrow. I think that's it, right? Just those two. Oh yeah, there you go. Just those two at the bottom. This is a perfect size for that hole. I just hope it clears this. I don't know if it is, if I'm being honest with you. Now this one right here, this one is. This one's perfect. It's going to clear with no issues. I'm just worried about that other one over there. I don't know how far it sits. Okay, I think yeah, they're actually going to be good. This one right here is actually going to mount to this lens right there. This portion. And then this is going to mount to this lens right here. This outer portion like that. So it's not going to be actually hitting that glass, which you don't want to touch either. You don't want to get that dirty, put your handprints on there. So I'm being very careful when I'm doing all this. I just got to figure out how to remove this chrome piece right here. That way we can take this off and paint it. So we're going to paint this black, and we need to paint this black. The lights, when they come in the package, they have two different lights. So like this one, you can see it's at the top. This one's at the bottom. When you are installing it on like one side, for example, this is going to be the left side, which is the passenger. You would want to make sure that the wire is down below so it's not exposed and you can't see it. So you would want to switch the lights around to make sure that they're both at the bottom versus being one at the bottom, one at the top, as you saw right now. So that's how I'm going to install it. So I need to make like a hole, I would say somewhere right here, so it holds this edge right there. Another one over here, and I could do one more somewhere right there. I think 2 would be fine, but I'll most likely just do 3 just to be sure, because I don't want this to fall off in the future. And also I need to make another hole like in the back so I can run the wire so it's not visible. So I need to make the hole somewhere on here where it's not touching this glass right there. And it looks like, yeah, this edge over here is not really like touching anything. To remove this piece right here, in order to get the chrome housing off that goes on here, you have to take off 2 covers that go on this and on this. The covers look like these little plates right here, and they just go in there. This one's easy to pop off because you can just shove something in there to pop it out. Now this one, on the other hand, this one was difficult. I grabbed a knife because it was like really sharp and skinny. I was able to pop it off by going to the side. It did take me a while. It didn't come off like on the first try, but I had to pop that off. And then I think these are 8mm. I was using, what is this? Oh, it is an 8mm. I was using an 8mm to take these off, and you have to do it at the same time. So as you start loosening this one, you got to loosen this one, not all the way. And then this one, I just had to spin it, as you can see, like that. And it'll start spinning these right here. Where's the other one? So 1, 2, 3, right there. That will take this part off. And then to remove this housing, you gotta remove 1, 2, 3 screws right there. It is difficult to get it while it's in there. That's why I removed it. And then I started taking this apart and I honestly broke it. So like right there, you can kind of see it just pops up now. This right here, I was trying to pop it off and it broke because I was going to go ahead and tint this black. Instead of just painting it, I was going to tint it. But it ended up breaking, so I'm going to use some JB Weld right here to hold that in. As long as you can put that JB Weld on there, this will not pop out anymore. That's the only thing like holding that in. I mean, there is a piece right here as well, but this part is the one that's really holding it in. So it sucks that I broke that, but it's going to be an easy fix because it just needs like a little bit right there. Alright, so quick update for you guys. I started making all the holes where the wiring is going to run through. And right here you can see I did one already. So I have 1, 2, 3 little small holes where the fishing line is going to run through. So we're technically gonna run the fishing line through there. It's gonna go up and we're gonna zip tie it, or we're gonna tighten it through the back. It's gonna hold it in place just like that. And then I made a larger hole right there where that wire is gonna go through. And then if you look at it like right there, it's gonna be something like that. You can't really see the wire right there. So it looks pretty clean. Now on the lens itself, like this one right here, because it's so close to the edge over here, I decided just to make a notch right there so it can fall in versus making a hole like this. One, because it's a little bit like skinnier and it's a little bit harder to drill through to make a straight hole where this is gonna fit in there perfectly. So I just made a notch so it just falls in there. Now this one on the other hand, I will have to go ahead and take out the little plugs, which are, where did it go? These right here. All you have to do is grab something really small and you want to pick in there, and then it's going to release the wire. It has these little tabs on each of the ends that releases it, and then when you push it back in, it'll just snap in. So you will have to do that for like these right here if you plan on doing it like how I'm doing it right here, so it can fit through that hole, because I don't want to make the hole too big where it's going to be noticeable. As you can see right there, it's perfect where this is going to cover it up. Same thing over here, made a notch right there so the line will just fall in there with no issues, and it fits perfectly. It's just a small little gap where it's going to fit in. Overall, everything's coming out really good. Once I make this last hole on this one, then we're going to go ahead and wash everything, which is just this, and then we're going to go ahead and begin painting it. I decided to bring it inside of my garage because I have these LEDs and they show you a lot like of what you haven't painted. And you can see there's a lot of spots that I still missed. And this was my second coat. Well, this is actually my third coat right now. But yeah, right there. Now it's covering it up really nicely. Alright, there you guys go. Here's one. It came out pretty decent. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. It should hold up to the temperature that we need it to hold up to. So now what we're going to do is, with the one that we removed, the little pins, I want to go ahead and run this through there. With this, just to get it in there. And then I was able to push it through. Then put it where we want it. It's perfect. Alright, there you go. I put the 3 pieces of fishing line right there, as you can see, holding it in. Wire goes down, just like that. So this is all set in stone and how it's gonna stay, which looks pretty good, honestly.
Alright guys, so I got both of the halos installed. Now the only issue that I'm running into right now is this corner right here is hitting this. So I'm just going to create a notch right there, so I don't have any issues with clearance or hitting right there. It's better than cutting this, so I'd rather just cut this right here, especially because it goes mounted to the lens. Won't have any issues with that. So just be aware of that. Make sure nothing is hitting anything. To connect the halos to your existing wiring, which is this right here, what I took out, you want to go ahead and add one of these splicers. You can get these at your local auto parts store. I checked Home Depot and they didn't have any, but AutoZone had a bunch of these that come in a pack of 4. I got 3 just in case. And what you want to do is you want to place this end right here inside of the wire like that, and then you're going to clamp it on there. It is a little bit difficult to clamp it, so you might want to use like some pliers, but if you have enough strength, you could just, you know, push it really hard and you'll hear it clamp. It looks like it clamped right there, but you won't be able to take it off if it clamped properly. Yeah, there you go. This one clamped, but you couldn't really hear it. And then this other end right here, you're going to go ahead and add to the halo itself, which are these right here. On the black one, that's going to be your ground. You're going to attach the black one. On this red one right here, this is your turn signal. You're actually going to use the yellow one. And then on the other one, which is this green one right here, where you attach the black one on that same one, this is the daytime running light that goes to the top of the lens. So it's going to be this top one up here. You're going to go ahead and connect another one of those blue ones, which are these right here. And you're going to attach the red one for the power. So green with red, black with black, and then the red one to your harness goes with the yellow one. Now the longer one, I believe, is your right side turn signal, and the shorter one is your left side turn signal. So because I have 2 of these halos, I'm going to attach one box to just one wire. This white one, I believe, is supposed to be like a low dim. I tried connecting it and it doesn't look like it's working, or maybe I just got to connect it with the app. I'm just going to use the high beam, which is this one right here. And the color looks perfectly fine, so I don't really need the low beam one. But that's how you would connect it. We're going to go ahead and add the new beetle tape that I got from Amazon right here. Beetle, I don't know the exact name and how to say it, but we got to add it all around right here. And this is pretty thick, so we're going to stretch it out a little bit to extend it. It should be enough for both headlights. Hopefully it is, because I only ordered one. And if that's the case, we're going to have to get more and wait a few days to get the other one. But we're going to go ahead and just put it on there, and then we're going to heat it up. And then after it's all hot, then we're going to go ahead and put the lens on top and seal it all together. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and begin wet sanding the lens so we can go ahead and clear coat it, since everything is pretty much done. And in the sanding process, you want to make sure that your sanding block is completely wet, because it won't leave as much scratches. And the surface, I'm using a 320 block right here. Not very gritty, so it's not going to introduce scratches. You for sure don't want to use like 80, because that's going to look really bad. But you just want to take off any like bad spots that you see. For example, like that right there, I already got most of it off. But you just want to sand it down until you can remove any spots that you see on the lens that will show up. But yeah, after I hit it with this, then I'm going to go ahead and clean it. Then I'm going to go ahead and clear it with my 2K clear. This is the clear right here that we're going to be using. It's a 2K clear glamour. Works extremely well, but use a mask like this. Don't use this stuff without this. If you use this and you don't wear a mask, you will be sick. Honestly, I would say for about a week or 2. You're gonna wake up with nausea, also coughing really bad, gonna have a metal taste in your mouth for a while. So extra precaution, just buy one of these. They're not that expensive. I think they're what, maybe 20 to 30 bucks. Just buy one. Alright, now how this works is you're gonna shake it for about 5 minutes. Then you're gonna grab this cap from up here, put it down here, and then you're gonna push it really hard until it pops in. That's gonna release the hardener. And then you gotta shake it for about 15 minutes. Alright, so this is now going to be the second coat. First coat already looks really good. Let's throw a second one on there now. Alright guys, so we're on the last part of doing this whole install, and we just need to install these fittings right here. I got this from Home Depot. Here's a part number just in case you guys want it. It's in their, I think it was like their PCV section or pipe section, kind of close to the electrical, but it's LPCG503-1. And what this is, I already installed one kind of right here, is it seals this area from water getting inside, and then this right here goes in this shroud that pinches the wires to hold it together, and you put it in there and you put the wires through and you tighten this, and it creates a nice seal so no water can get inside of the lens itself. So I'm adding this for extra precaution. You tighten this right here to put it together. There's like a gasket right there and this metal housing that holds it in. And then you have to be mindful where you make the holes if you're going to make it on here, because when you install this right here, the hole may interfere with the HID or this bulb right here. So if you can see this, when this one goes in, so it goes in like that, it'll clock in right there. You can see there's space. On this one, that wouldn't happen, because right there it's going to interfere with the HID, especially on this side. This one right here will interfere with it, so just be careful where you make the hole. See how it lines up like that? It's in the way, and then if you clock it in right there, it's still in the way. As where this one is at the top, clock it in, not going to be in the way of this. So be aware of where you make your hole. You don't want to make it directly in the middle, but a little bit to the side, so it fits properly. But let me go ahead and install this one really quick so I can kind of show you what it looks like. Just like that. Put the gasket in there, and then put this in there. Now it is obviously a tight fit, so you can't get like a wrench in there. So I use this right here, and then I just spun it like that. It worked perfectly fine for me. Go ahead and remove the pins from that right there, just because it wasn't fitting with this little gasket right here. And after removing the pins and everything, I was able to take it out. So right there you can see it's going in. And then you want to go ahead and take this thing out. Just like that. And then this is going to insert like that. It is going to be a tight fit, but it does work. Just gotta maneuver it in there. Squeeze the lines because it does get caught on those like spikes right there. And then push it all the way down. Once you do that, same thing with this. This is the more difficult part. You do gotta kind of like squeeze it in there, but it does fit. There you go. And then now you would finally add this piece, and then you would go ahead and tighten it right here, and then it's gonna create a nice seal so there's no leaks. And these things are only like $2 and something, closer to $3, so they're pretty affordable if you guys want to pick them up. Now just put the pins back in. Okay guys, so just to recap really quick on how everything works, how to connect it all, because I kid you not, I looked at so many videos online and nobody explained how they did the wiring on their headlights and how to connect it. So at first I tried connecting it to this wire right here, that goes to the HID or the bulb right here, and that did not work at all for whatever reason. I have no idea. So instead I attached it to the daytime running light, which is this one right here, and it worked perfectly. So the red wire from the box is going to connect to the green wire to the daytime running light, and then it's also connected with the black wire to the black one to the same daytime running light. Then you have your yellow wire, which is this one over here. This yellow one is connected directly to the turn signal, which is the red one. The turn signal is that big bulb right here on the side. As long as you connect it to that and you tap in there, it'll work. And then here we have this. Wires from the halos go through here to the outside and then connect to the box directly, and it gets power perfectly with no issues. I already tested it on the car prior to installing the lens to make sure everything worked, and that's how I got everything to work properly. But other than that, that is pretty much it. Alright guys, there you go. Got the headlights installed. Right now I have it like in a bluish color, and it looks pretty dang sick. It looks so aggressive, and they're pretty bright, and it's daytime right now, so you can clearly see them. They look really good. And then right here with the wiring and everything, to install the headlights, that back piece needs to go through this hole right here, and then everything else falls in line for the most part. Just gotta put this back right there, and then the turn signals work. You just gotta make sure you have it on the right connection. If it's like over here on this one, you just gotta disconnect it and move it to the other connection over here. And as you can see, everything fits perfectly in there. I'm gonna zip tie it, and this way it doesn't fall down, but it has more than enough space right there just to leave it. And then on this fitting that I added right here, I went ahead and added some of that butyl tape or beetle tape, whatever you want to call it, around it, so nothing water gets in there, and everything is sealed up, you know, really good. So the last thing to do is just zip tie everything. Same thing on this side, more than enough space right there, so just zip tie it in there. But everything's working as it should, and it looks really sick and aggressive. I wish I would have got these smudges off right here that were on the lens, but it came out good for the most part. This right here is tinted. You can kind of see that light is on a little bit right there. Just tinted it black. Same thing on this side. Tinted it black. That is so sick. Alright, I have to pick it up at night so you can see how it looks. But you can see the blue right there, how it just pops. Yo, that makes the front look so much more aggressive. Like, it just looks mean. It looks like a shark now. Honestly, before it looked like a whale to me. But now it looks aggressive. Alright, so I will go ahead and pick this up later tonight so we can see how it looks. So here's from the inside, and you can see visibility, brightness of the lights is actually the same. It hasn't changed at all. Just in case you guys are worried about that. And then here's how it looks from the outside. As you can see, they are clearly visible. Looks really sick. And then let me show you guys the app. The only thing that really sucks is because there's two controllers or two like modules, I have to connect to two different ones. If I just leave it on a color, like this one, if I just leave it on blue, the right one turn blue, it'll stay blue. And then if I switch to the other one, and I switch that one to blue, it'll stay blue as well. So it just sucks that if I want to change both of them, I have to go into the app and select one and the other. If you just have one light, it only comes with one module, and you only need one app or device to connect to. But the good thing is that it connects really easily. As you can see, it picks it up really fast, so I don't have to worry about that. Alright guys, and here I am recording with my phone just in case it captures a little bit better, because I was using my glasses right now. And right now I have it in automatic mode, so it's just going through every single color that it has and each option. My favorite is the blue and like the cyan. But as you can see, it stands out a lot, and it makes the FX look a lot more aggressive. So it looks really sick. I like it a lot. This is for sure a mod that you should do to your car to make it stand out and look really sick. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more, see if you can catch the colors a little bit better. Oh, there you go. And this doesn't affect the brightness of the lights at all. As you guys saw from the inside of my car, doesn't affect it at all. Still looks bright. When I'm driving, it looks normal. I just put it on white. I haven't left it in any colors because before I got in trouble for having a blue license in my license plate. I'll probably just leave it as white so I don't get in trouble, because I got pulled over one time just for having blue colors on the back of my car. And this is what the turn signal looks like. It goes all the way up like that. It's kind of hard to see with it blinking, but you can see it a lot more clear in person. Right there. Yeah, you can't really see it from this angle. All right, there you can kind of see it. So it looks pretty badass. You can make both of them blink if you connect the other yellow wire to the same wire for the turn signal, but I think it actually looks badass with this one still lighting up and only this one blinking. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and end the video right there. Hopefully this helps you guys out, because I didn't see any video specifically on the QX FX on doing this mod. I saw one guy who did some aftermarket dragon lenses, but that's totally different. You know, he has to replace the whole lens, as where this is something custom that you're gonna go ahead and do to your car, which honestly in my opinion looks pretty sick. The dragon ones look sick as well, but they're crazy expensive. I think they're like over $1,000. I'm not gonna spend $1,000 on these. These were like $50 for just one set. So if you want two sets, it's gonna be like $100, which is still not bad. And I did everything for pretty cheap. Got the paint. The tint paint was expensive. It was like 20. The black paint was like 10. Clear coat was like 25. So you could say I spent around 100 and something bucks to make these look good. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right there. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.